All right, welcome back. So much going on in the world. And you know, here on Liquid Lunch, I need my head examined sometimes because I don't want to just hear myself talk. I like getting all perspectives. I say our guests are the ones that know where the rubber meets the road. I have on people from all different political styles, all different political camps. We're flying the rainbow flag. We have gay men, we have straight men, we have women, children, people that identify as otherwise. We have it all here. And I try to bring you a broad range of views and let you, the viewer, figure it out for yourself. I think, you know, that's why so many people like the show, because at least we're open-minded. We're joined right now by a good friend of the show. She's been with us before. Lisa Durden joins us. And Lisa, your perspective is always welcome here. We've had you many times before. Thank you for joining us again. Yes. Lisa, I asked Nico specifically to get you on because I know you tell it like it is. I want to remind you that we can have a great open discussion and we cannot curse. I mean,
Not a problem.
I want to ask you this because I think Joe Biden, we know he's had some slips of the mouth in the past, and this has been a problem he's had over the years. But now on a number of occasions, he's kind of inferred, and he said to even Charlemagne the God on the Breakfast Club, if you're thinking about voting for Joe Biden, you ain't black. And when I hear something like that, I just had my buddy Joe Pignon on. He's a black guy. He's a great guy, great friend of mine. And I said, Joe, I have a feeling that black people do not need to be reminded by a white person whether or not they're black. They know they're black.
I think I know I'm black. and black is very beautiful, of course.
Of course it is. And I wonder, you know, I know that you're very proud of your heritage. I know that you're a social justice warrior. How is the guy who your side is kind of holding up as the savior to change things, how does that square when he says, if you're not voting for me, you ain't black?
Well, what people don't realize is black people are not a monolith. You know, we don't ever get the same respect as other cultures, particularly white people. Nobody ever paints white people with the same brush to think the same and do the same and have the same understanding of things. So when that statement happened, there were a lot of black people in the black community who did not have a problem with it because a lot of black people felt like, yeah, if you know what's going on in this country, you know Donald Trump is a rabid racist. You know Donald Trump has called black countries shithole countries, asshole countries. That was a quote. I'm sorry, that was a quote. I'm sorry, that was an actual quote. Sorry, Dean, that was a quote. That was a quote for me. Asshole countries, I don't know if you can edit that out, but asshole countries, you know that Donald Trump has never denounced white supremacy. You know that Donald Trump
he has on a number of occasions said, I denounce white supremacy.
We know that he never denounced white supremacy. He's called Black Lives Matter. He's called Black Lives Matter a terrorist group. So a lot of
But Black Lives Matter, I know we've had this discussion before. Black Lives Matter, the sentence, to me is like, yeah, buddy, you know it. Black Lives Matter, indeed, right? But the organization was formed by some women who are admittedly Marxists. They want to change society as we know it. So there is some terror involved with the looting and the riots and stuff.
Let me address this first. Why a lot of blacks didn't have a problem with Biden saying what he said. So because black people, and I'll address that in a second, because a lot of black people, not all, a lot of black people know that Donald Trump is a rabid racist. He took out an $89,000 ad to make sure that the Central Park Five, who actually are called the Exonerated Five because they were exonerated, to actually bring back the death penalty and kill children who had no proof that he raped the Central Park jogger, quote, quote. He's done that. He's not rented to black people in all of his Trump towers. He's been taken to court for discriminating against black people. I mean, he's got a history of racism, including now. So
okay,
a lot of
those are I get those.
Let me get to the point.
Go ahead.
Don't forget your point. The reason why black people feel like if you are black and you don't vote for Trump, he's right. I mean, I'm sorry. If you are black and you don't vote for Biden, Biden's right. So the reason why they feel that way is because of all the stuff that Trump has done and proven to black people that they don't matter. Now,
okay, so wait, but Lisa, you just said Joe Biden's right. So
no, I didn't say that. I said, let me get to the point. I said, you said, why didn't blacks have a problem with that? I'm answering the question. why a lot of blacks didn't have a problem with him stating what they call truthful. A lot of blacks felt like, okay, what's wrong with that? Because if you don't vote for Biden, you are not. Although that makes no sense because you're always black. So that's
Right.
not
So,
true.
all right. So, you, all right, you answered
now
that
for
question.
Me, now for
now
me,
you went back to, okay,
for me,
yeah, for you.
Nobody white, you or anybody white, your opening statement is for sure true. Nobody white, now I took a different approach. Nobody white should tell black people that if they don't do this, they're not black, or if they do this, they're not black. That's just period. So
that's what I think.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Now,
right.
Chelsea Handler, 50 Cent's ex-girlfriend, was on Jimmy Fallon, and she said these exact words. She said, I had to call up 50 and remind him that he was black. No, and again, my black friends who I've talked to about this, they say, JT, every time I get out of my car at night and somebody's walking down the street, I'm reminded I'm black. Every time a cop pulls me over, I'm reminded I'm black. I don't need Chelsea Handler telling me or 50 Cent to remind me that I'm black. There are reminders every day.
Right. Right. So exactly right. So you did say one thing we agree on, but so yeah. So I think that some white you're silly.
I ring the bell when we agree. I like that.
I love it. So some white people feel like they can overreach because maybe they are allies to the black community. The word ally. I'm not for sure the reason because I'm not white saying it, but certainly I take offense and I take issue with anybody white trying to weigh my blackness on a scale as if they can. So that's just period. So that's why I have a problem with anybody doing it. But in terms of black people and Joe Biden, I'm generalizing here because I'm black. Not all, we're not a monolith, but a large amount of black people look at the two candidates as, selecting between the lesser of two evils. I don't know what the white community feels, but I think that we've been very vocal enough online, on television shows. You've had pundits on shows, much like myself, political analysts, talk about the lesser of two evils. Black people cannot decide who runs for the office of presidency. Once we see the opponents, once we see the candidates, we only can select from those candidates. And the fact is, this next winner, whoever it is, will be the 46th president of the United States. Other than the 44th president, all the presidents of the United States were racists.
Okay.
And
let me ask you this.
I can say specific things that led me to.
Okay, I understand that. So you went back to the Central Park Five, and that case has been, jumbled up in court for a while. I know some of the people were let off and they were found not guilty. I know some of the other guys took the blame. One guy who was dying. It was tricky, but I know what you're saying. I'm with you. But
no, it was DNA evidence. No, it was actually DNA evidence.
Okay.
It was actually DNA evidence.
Going back, but I just want to ask you this. White folks can't love science
in one vein and not in the other vein.
Okay. I'm with you. I understand. Yeah. We're going back in time. Okay, fine.
Not that far back. They got exonerated last year. They got exonerated about a year ago.
Right. So just in the last couple of months, Donald Trump walked out. Joe Biden walked out on stage to a Latino organization. Okay, and he walked out playing the song Despacito, which annoyed a lot of people in the Latino community. And then he went on to say, you guys, you Latinos here, you're a very diverse group, unlike my friends in the African-American group, in the African-American community. So he basically made the contrast that you just said. Latinos, you're diverse. You come from a lot of different places. My friends in the African-American community, they're a monolith. So it seems like he keeps saying things where he thinks all black people have to think in one mind frame.
Again, I don't want to sound repetitive, but I've heard Donald Trump say, I did this for the blacks, and we find that offensive. I'm doing it for the blacks. So I think that not just Joe Biden, I think that all of these politicians, and sometimes it could be black politicians, that you see them pandering to the elderly and do what they think the elderly likes. You see them pandering to women because they think they want to do what the women like. I see them pandering to millennials versus the baby boomers. I just see most, I won't say all, but most politicians, black, white, or otherwise, have just embarrassed themselves and they pander. Just be yourself. I have never, ever in the history of living, I will say from age 18, I'm 56, voted for a candidate because of their race. Most times for the presidency, most times they're not black, but I had 1 or 2 times where blacks did run for the presidency, and I still wanted to know what your policies were. I didn't vote for President Obama because he was black. Him being black in the bomb did help a little bit to make me go, a black man's running, what's up with you?
All right. So Barack Obama made you go, I like that. So Lee, we gotta leave it. Lee, we gotta leave it there. We're out of time.
Oh, crap.
I thank you so much for joining us. And for 56, you look marvelous, darling.
Thank you, boo. Bring me back again. I love to talk politics.
We sure will. That's Lisa Durden, social justice advocate.
And I'd like to say, I really appreciate the fact that you are, even though you're a Republican, people think that you guys are monolith, that you're a Republican that, although we don't agree, you're open to various views, because we got to a point in this country where we can't even have a conversation, and we can't disagree without canceling people. I mean, we're doing it here. It's not a problem.
I'm trying to do that too, and I appreciate you joining us, Lisa. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Boo.
We'll talk to you soon. See you, Boo. Boo. She called me Boo.